I've had my morning coffee, my doggo has been walked, and my brain is in top gear. Let's do this. Okay, let's talk the Drive Driver. It's by far the most unique driver in the entirety of the Kamen Rider franchise, and the system is split into two devices, the shift brace and the driver itself. When used in civilian form, a person can use it as a navigation device or receive voice messages on it. The brace's true purpose is to act as a remote to the Drive Driver and functions as the system's activator. It is used to activate the shift cars while the driver acts as the sensor to it, picking up on the brace's release signal. The second half of the system is the driver itself. This houses the consciousness of Krim Steinbelt, aka Mr. Belt. In civilian mode, it can be used to scan or inspect objects, while it can also serve as a voice recorder, using the data from anything collected to further police cases. While Mr. Belt can use the face of the driver to emote his expressions at any given time. While serving as the driver, Mr. Belt has full control of Trideron and the type change shift cars, usually providing reinforcements if needed. He can also summon all of the shift cars at once to attack an opponent. Now that we've talked about the system, it's time to talk about how to become Drive. To transform, a user turns the key on the driver while inserting a lever mode type change shift car into the brace. Once set, the shift car is lifted up and down, which activates the transformation. And whenever a user needs to use a different shift car in combat, either type change or tire change, the key on the driver must be rotated first in order for it to start. By the way, if the previous steps are followed using a tire change shift car instead, the base shift tire of that type will change into a tire unique to the shift cars, and it comes with an array of abilities as well. At that point, Mr. Belt will announce whatever the corresponding shift car is when that happens. If a shift car is lifted depending on the type, the driver will announce which one is used and the user will gain a power boost. Depending on how many times the lever is lifted in succession, it will activate different functions of that shift car. The exceptions to the lifting shift feature is the dead heat shift car, viral cores, and signal bikes. A lot of how the shift cars function with this driver is explained in the Shift Car Explained video Proto-Dubs did for us a while back, so consider this a companion video to it and go watch that video for more context. Now, to activate a finisher, the key on the driver is rotated and the red igniter button on the brace is pressed. Mr. Belt will announce Hisatsu, and from there the shift car is lifted, giving Drive a burst of power while Mr. Belt announces full throttle to whichever shift car is used. At that point, the user gains full control of the shift car and can manipulate it in any way they choose. Dead Heat has a different procedure, seeing that it doesn't have a lever mode. The driver will announce Dead Heat when the igniter button is pressed, and the power of the dead zone is then bestowed to that user. When a shift car doesn't comply with the user when a finisher is activated, nothing happens at all. And to cancel the transformation, the user simply removes the shift car, then the igniter button is pressed. My favorite part about this is after all that is done and it's detransformed, Mr. Belt will announce Nice Drive. That's just a really cool clip. Now that we've talked about the functions, let's talk about some of the more unique things that has happened to the driver as it stands. By episode 25, this driver gained an upgrade that made all of Drive's attacks only harm Roimude's bodies and cores without hurting human hosts, since they started merging those guys together. Upon receiving Trideron in episode 35, Mr. Belt gained the ability to control Shinosuke's body both in and out of a transformation, specifically the type Trideron transformation. Once in control, Trideron's visors or Shinosuke's eyes will turn red. And during the events of Surprise Future, Mr. Belt's consciousness was placed, the 2015 consciousness was placed in the Drive Driver of 2035. That driver was upgraded to the point where there was no AI present within it, and the driver could enter an autonomous mode that allowed it to swap hands with no host. This is what allows Shinosuke to use Type Special because of that. The brace and driver combo has been duplicated within the entirety of the Drive series, with Gold Drive aka Bono using one in the TV series, Roimude 27 of the Drive Hyper Battle DVD, and Brain using the Brain driver invented by the Crystal Pepler. Gold Drive Drive's version is the most unique of the four, as it allows him to channel his power or exploit whatever weapon he has by way of his hijacking ability. This also extends to the shift cars and signal bites, exploiting their capabilities at their max. Even Shift Trideron wasn't immune to this effect originally. So yeah, it's pretty tough. And by the end of the series, it, along with the signal bikes and shift cars, were sealed away so that they wouldn't fall into the hands of nefarious people. Okay, did you get all of that? Now it's time to go in order from who has used the driver or variant within the entirety of the series. Proto Drive, aka Chase, was the first to use it, and despite a failed attempt by Kiriko, I will count her in as the second, because she was kind of intended to be it. Shinosuke became the third and most prominent user of the driver, and at that point, the first duplicate driver, created by Roy Mew 27, was used to make Fake Drive for the Hyper Battle DVD. By episode 40, the all-black Bono driver was created, and if you want to include Mr. Belt getting his 2015 consciousness, put in the belt from 2035, this happens around that time as well. Hart uses the Drive driver in conjunction with the Heateron shift car to become Kamen Rider Hart in his movie, and Brain uses his Brain driver to become Kamen Rider Brain in his movie. Whew, man, that was a lot to say. But if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to give me a like, subscribe to the channel for more Kamen Rider Explained goodness, and in the comment section below, let me know what your favorite aspect of the Drive driver is. Of course, the shift brace and Drive driver part is very unique and interlaced, so I don't know, just talk about what you like. I've tweeted this before, but I personally think that the Drive driver would be a little cooler if Denzel Washington consciousness was in it. I'm just saying. Having Alonzo from Training Day in your drive, come on, man. You want to go to jail, you want to go home. Come on. You know that's cool. But anyway, I guess I'll just let you go. Please enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Lambo Calrissian, inviting you guys to keep calm and Toku on.